So let's get back to the PP. I just want to point out once again that basically Republican commentators, and I'm not just talking about fucking like, the edge ones, right? A lot of prominent mainstream Republican commentators, pretty much all of them collectively, are now doing exactly what Alex Jones was doing with respect to trying to cast doubt on an open and shut case. Okay? Like Steven Crowder, is there anything about the Paul Pelosi story that seems fishy to you? I like the idea that the right saw Alex Jones' defamation trial and decided they should just do that brazenly every time something happens. Like, they didn't even go for like the, hey, if Paul had a gun and wasn't like a pussy, he would have been able to defend himself without getting his skull pummeled or anything like that. They just straight up moved on from that point to immediately be like, oh, he's gay. He's having gay sex. He's doing butt sex. And they're on meth. He's having meth gay sex. Like, they literally jumped to that. Which back in the day was certainly a commentary that you would hear. But it was like, on Facebook, in the margins. Conspiracy theorists would say shit like that. Now it's like Steven Crowder. Everyone but Ben Shapiro has pretty much said that. That phase when the group chat eggs you on, you do it, and then they call you a gay-ass loser. Yeah, literally. That is precisely what happened at the PP. The PP was like gassed up by all the homies. Thought that like Tucker Carlson was so chill. Okay? And now they're all calling him a gay loser. What happened to PP? It's just, this is so consistent too. It's so fucking consistent. Legal analysis sometimes? What? A question is a material misstatement of a fact exactly the same? No. They are doing that deliberately. You recognize it. The reason why they're stating this posing this as a question is so they can engage in the same exact fucking misstatement without getting the legal responsibilities later on. If you are a fucking lawyer, you already recognize what they're doing. Don't be an idiot. It's always saying, well, we're just asking questions. Just asking questions. It is a leading question, and you never have that kind of skepticism for the other side. If you are being skeptical, about the truth or about information that's coming out on a breaking news story, that's fine. But if you don't have that exact same level of skepticism for the Santa Monica Observer, then you're a fucking idiot. That's it. And that's what they're doing. And the reason why they're keeping it at the just asking questions level is so that they don't get hit with a fucking defamation suit. That's it. So you have like some level of deniability. Like, oh, what? Sorry, I was just asking questions. It's to cast doubt on the actual narrative. Okay? That's what this is. That's the deliberate goal. But it works as an out. Okay, so you recognize that, and I recognize that, so shut the fuck up. I know what they're doing. So Glenn Greenwald did this. Tucker Carlson did this on the main show. He was like, these are questions. Like, what's going on? We need to see the body camera footage. It's like, bro, like, body camera footage will probably be inevitably shown from the process. But it's so fucking strange, like, that they're like, oh, we need the body camera footage immediately. It's like, bro, it's an open and shut case. The guy openly admitted to what he was doing. You know what I mean? It will most likely come. Okay? But you won't be coming. I'll tell you that much. There is not going to be the gay sex that you're looking for in that body camera footage. Okay? You especially won't be coming at the top of the hour, though, unless you're subscribed for $5 or for free. We're still going with 1 minute ad breaks. I'm not going up to 4 yet. Partially because I don't know how to run 4 minute ad breaks, really. And partially because I haven't signed on yet. But if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Or by getting gifted a sub, if you are lucky. Here's the 1 minute ad break. 1 minute for now. They literally want to meme the footage and laugh at a guy doing a terrorism? Yeah. No, I think you can run up to 10 minutes of ads, by the way, for those of you who say, I think it's maxed out on the button on my thing, but you can definitely run it up to like 10 minutes or something. I think. They're asking for 8 minutes from others? Yeah. Basically 5 out of 10. Come on. Wait, what? All right. Let's continue. New details emerge about Paul Pelosi's
Begin with
alleged
horrifying
assailant.
new details about the attack on Paul Pelosi and the alleged plot against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So according to authorities, a man accused of breaking into her home and attacking her husband wanted to interrogate Nancy Pelosi, believing she was telling lies. He allegedly told authorities if he didn't like the answers or he thought she was lying, he was prepared to, in his words, break her kneecaps. David DePape now faces multiple charges, including attempted murder. He'll be arraigned later today. Jonathan Bigliotti.
It's always funny when they show his face, bro. I mean, normally you're like, oh, we shouldn't show the faces of like these assailants in order not to create copycats. But I feel like this one's pretty good. This one, you kind of are working against every motherfucker that wants to do this looks like this. So, you know, with the relentless bullying that this guy is getting, I feel like maybe other people will be like, yeah, damn dog, like I should probably, if I do something like this, I want to look better. So then they start working out and then they hit the gym and then they no longer have time to fucking go to the same Discord servers, go to the same forums that they were frequenting. And then they actually end up fixing their lives. And then they no longer want to do the dumb fucking stochastic terrorist shit that David DePape failed to engage in.
Is outside the Speaker's house in San Francisco. Jonathan, good morning to you. As bad as this story is, it could have been so much worse. These details are just stunning.
They are, and good morning to you, Gail. Federal officials really describing a very disturbing plan, saying the suspect arrived here at this home early Friday morning with a bag of items to take Nancy Pelosi hostage. They say he intended to tie her up and assault her using a hammer.
This was politically motivated.
San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins was clear about what investigators say were the alleged attacker's intentions early Friday morning.
This house and the speaker herself were specifically targets of the defendant.
Jenkins said there was no security at the home when David DePape broke in armed with 2 hammers, zip ties, tape, and a rope.
The defendant made his way upstairs, locating Mr. Pelosi in his bed sleeping. He woke him up, confronting him about the...
Wait, while I agree this guy's a freak, how do we separate something like this and say a revolution of the proletariat? Well, unless you're fucking fantasizing like a weirdo LARPing in a Discord server or LARPing on a fucking subreddit, that is the difference, okay? The main difference is this revolution of the proletariat doesn't happen unless you have on-the-ground organizing, unless you have labor militancy. So if we have a 10% unionization rate in the labor force in this fucking country, if we have no fucking class consciousness, the only time you act out on a desire that you have for a violent revolution, you're going to look like David DePepe, okay? It's most likely going to be misplaced anger, okay? You can't just do that. But Americans are so born and bred hyper individualistic that they can't even fucking comprehend it beyond. And even when it comes to like solutions, okay? Even when it comes to like solutions to problems, Americans still think individual responsibility will be able to solve certain systemic problems. That's why I get so fucking triggered when I hear anarchists talk like fucking ANCAPs, as though they're going to mutual aid and charity away the genuine harm that these oppressive structures have created. You know? It's not. That's not how that works. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. That shouldn't stop you or deter you from doing mutual aid. I certainly do it as well. But like, remember that there is no like one guy that's going to, Captain America and usher in socialism that way. Okay? So you're advocating for individual irresponsibility? Well, I would say that this is fairly individually irresponsible. No, I'm advocating for collective responsibility. I know that you tried to do that brain broken, I'm so mentally ill on Twitter type beat right here in this fucking chat, but usually we just clamp down on that pretty hard, okay? No, I said I like pancakes. I didn't say if you eat waffles, I'll kill you, okay? Don't try to come in here and fucking capture a stun lock here, you fucking idiot. It took 30 seconds to diminish your idiotic point, and you look like a dumbass now, okay? Let's continue.
The whereabouts of Speaker Pelosi.
Paul Pelosi told DePape his wife would not be home for several days, according to the newly released criminal complaint. At one point, the speaker's husband was able to go to the bathroom, which is where he called 911.
Yeah. He pulled away from the gay sex to go to the bathroom. He said, I need to douche myself, brother. I need to do a douche. If we're switching and I'm bottoming, I'm going to be douching. That's what Paul Pelosi said, okay? In my mind, in my desires, in my fantasies. And then he pulled out the phone and called 911 because he was mad. It's a lover's quarrel, brother. We need to see the sex tapes. I mean, the body camera tapes.
Two police officers arrived at the front door 2 minutes after that 911 call. When that door was opened, the defendant was holding his hammer, which Mr. Pelosi appeared to be attempting to control by holding a portion of that hammer. The defendant then pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently struck him in the top of his head.
At that point, Jenkins said, police immediately apprehended the suspect. According to the complaint, DePape then told police his plan was to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her if she told the truth.
This is the funniest part about this coverage, is that like, and I've mentioned this already so many times, but it bears repeating. You can have a motherfucker be like, I'm a conservative. I just voted for the Republican down ballot, okay? I love conservatism. I love the Republican Party. I have been personally radicalized by Tucker Carlson, and that's why I'm doing this violent action towards Nancy Pelosi, okay? And Republicans will still turn around and be like, hold on. Was he sewing hemp bracelets in 1984? Sounds like Antifa to me, brother. It's like, bro, he's saying what he wants to do. He said he laid out his plan, dog. He laid it out. He admitted it. And you dumb motherfuckers on the Republican side are still like, I don't know. He's pretty gay. Now, the irony, of course, and the weird part about this conversation that no one is having for some reason is that this happened in San Francisco, Luckily. And that's the reason why he was armed with fucking tools from a tool belt and not an easily accessible AR-15, shotgun, handgun, because it's not as easy to get a fucking gun in California as it is anywhere else. Because that shit would have been very different if this was somewhere else.
Truth, he would let her go, and if she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps, saying she would then have to be wheeled into Congress, showing other members there were consequences to actions. DePape also explained generally that he wanted to use Nancy Pelosi to lure another unnamed individual. With the midterm elections a week away and threats against officials escalating, the DA called on everyone to tone down the rhetoric.
We should be able to all engage in passionate political discourse, but still remain respectful of one another.
9mm hip. Hasan Abi's going to be there at 7, so we will have a good night to see them before he gets there at 5, and we can just meet them there at the same spot. We will have a good time at your place. If we don't get there by 5, we have a lot. Paul has the most incredible, beautiful, and sweetest smile. I am in awe at his talent. Hasan Abi is going to be there in about 5 minutes to pick up the kids. Then I will be here in a few minutes to pick up the car from my car to drop them back and get my stuff out. Huh? Okay, I'm just going to ban you for your own, sanity here. That sounds like phone auto suggest spam lol, like type Hasan Abi into your phone and let it suggest the rest of the words. Okay, well, let's not do that. Let's not do that any longer, I think. Let's hear what Trump had to say, though. As Paul Pelosi reportedly remains in the ICU, Donald Trump spreads baseless conspiracy theories that the attacker is already disputed.
It's weird things going on in that household in the last couple of weeks. Probably you and I are better not talking about it, but it seems was broken from the inside to the out. And, it wasn't a break in, it was a breakout. I don't know. You hear the same things I do.
Yeah, the 9/11 tape seems to suggest that he knew the identity of the guy.
Yeah. It's a lot of bad stuff. I'm not a fan of Nancy Pelosi, but what's going on there is very sad.
Yeah, it seems to me there would be security evidence of this. There just seems to be more to this story. Would it be safe to say?
This is, I think, more than the traffic accident, it looks like to me.
But dependent on Republicans or you, sir, I mean, how absurd. Clearly, this was a deranged man. We know that much.
Yeah. The whole thing is crazy. I mean, if there's even a little bit of truth to what's being said, it's crazy. But the window was broken in, and it was strange that the cops were standing there practically from the moment it all took place. So I don't know. You're going to have to explain that to your audience. You're going to have to explain it to everybody, including me, because that one's.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, it's so wild. I wonder how any of this could have happened. Oh, well, I guess we'll never know. It's like, bro, if you're genuinely curious about what happened, you can just look at the information that has come out thus far on the attacker's motivations, the attacker's political ideology, all this shit. It's not truly a mystery. Why are they was the window was broken in? That even true? They saw that photo of plexiglass. There was glass both on the inside of the house and also on the outside of the house. The motherfucker literally said, yeah, I broke in. It's not like this is a secret, okay? But it doesn't matter because these guys are super motivated to make it seem like the official narrative that another one of their fucking weirdo loser friends decided to act out on their violent desires because they're conspiratorial psychopaths with nothing else going on in their lives is too hard to fucking, it's too hard a pill to swallow, basically. Okay? That's what this is. They're having a really, really, really hard time justifying the reality because the reality makes them look bad. So they're desperately trying to be like, well, what if they were actually doing a gay orgy and the cops were involved and the plexiglass was broken from the inside? Like, that's it. These guys openly admit what their desires are all the fucking time. Like the guys that engage in these violent actions, I mean, they openly showcase their desires. They write about it. They talk about it. They say it all the fucking time. But even then, it doesn't matter because, like, conservatives don't want to fucking admit it. The conservatives don't want to recognize that their, like, rhetoric is causing this kind of fucking action. They don't want it. That's you, man. It's like facing the mirror. You know what I mean? You don't want to fucking look at the mirror. You don't like the image that the mirror is like showing back at you. So you're desperately looking for any kind of way to get away from that. So you just make shit up. Feel me?
Figuring out Russia and figuring out China is much easier.
Yeah, well, it would. Yeah. I think in time we're going to learn more. If in fact there's a curious.
I think this is the beginning. It looks, but it's a sad situation. Very sad, actually.
COVID again. That's how plexiglass breaks. Isn't the gay conspiracy the most obvious? Why do you think it's more complicated than that? Good one. Exactly. Yeah, when I see someone break in, openly admit that they broke in because they want to kill Nancy Pelosi, my immediate thought is, oh, they must be having homosexual sex because that's what's on my mind, obviously. Will Miniker actually had a pretty funny take about that, pretty much that joke, that the idea that like, hold on. The idea that, a 42-year-old man was hanging out with an elderly man immediately went to rough trade for them. That's a little sus, okay? That like, well, I can't click on anything that Will is posting right now because he's posting a lot of fucking cocks on his timeline. He's in the erotic museum in Miami, I think. But oh, here it is. Another funny thing about the Paul Pelosi hammer attack is that the entire right wing decided it was rough trade more or less instantly. For them, the simplest explanation for a young man attacking an older gentleman in his house is that he was caught trying to steal your watch. Like, get it? Like, immediately, they were like, oh, dude, I've seen this before. I've seen this song and dance before. It must be gay sex. Which, in my opinion, and in Will's opinion as well, that's what he's inferring. That's basically what he's stating here, is that it's a bit of a self-report that you are jumping to, oh, this old man was having gay sex with a younger man, and then they had a lover's quarrel. Most people would not think that. You getting flamed on the timeline again? Dude, they're riding me hard, man. What are you going to do? Why are you sending me this stuff? What the fuck does steal your watch mean? They're saying like, you hired a gay prostitute to have sex secretly and you caught them stealing your shit. man literally sent bombs to Congress and his home van was dressed in Republican Trump guard and they acted this way too. Why are all ideological conservatives just closeted queer dudes and trans women who are terrified that they've internalized literally everything? No, that's not true. There's plenty of fucking bigoted people who are cishet. Trust me. I cannot believe how infrequently I hear the term stochastic terrorism used to describe this shit, because this has been precisely what's been going on for years now. And there's a direct line to be drawn between these incidents and right-wing stochastic terrorist media. Yeah, for sure. But have you considered that Paul Pelosi is gay? Yeah. Get fucking owned, libtard. Okay? I'm just asking questions. I mean, his initials are really, literally PP. Oh, dude, more evidence. Fucking love that, dude. Love when more evidence comes out that corresponds to my personal biases. You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah. Yeah, the PP and Paul Pelosi also PP. Just saying. Oh, what the fuck? Trump had another take on Kanye West. Yo, let's go. Hold up. Got to hear that one too. Man, God, he's giving us some juice right now, you know?
I was very honored in a sense because he said all those great things about me on Tucker Carlson. He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish. You heard them and you know them well.
Yes.
And they're saying
Jewish.
that was the reason. So then you ask, well, would it have been the same thing if he didn't say all those good things about Trump? You just don't know. Yeah. I was very honored in a sense because he said all those great things about me on Tucker Carlson. He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish. You heard them and you know them well.
Yes.
And they're saying that was the reason. So then you ask, well, would it have been the same thing if he didn't say all those good things?
I don't even know, dog. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait,
I was very honored in a sense because he said all those great things about me on Tucker Carlson. He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish.
He's saying, okay, I'm going to translate. I'm the #1 Trump stan. I'm going to translate what he's saying here. I know a lot of you are having a hard time comprehending what he's saying, but it's pretty clear. Okay? Donald Trump is saying, thank you, Kanye. Very cool for saying nice things about me. Oh, no. You said some rough things about Jewish, which I think he means like Jewish people. That's not cool.
You heard them and you know them well.
Yes.
And they're saying that was the reason. So then you ask, well, would it have been the same thing if he didn't say all those good things about Trump? You just don't know.
Yeah.
What? Okay, never mind. I take it back. We only hate anti-Semites when they support Trump. It just so happens that anti-Semites and Trump supporting his Venn diagram is a circle. No, it just means he's swearing on Jewish, like how you say on God. No, he's not doing that. He's saying that Ye wouldn't have been criticized for the Jewish stuff if not for Ye's support for Trump. Thank you. That was way better. I didn't even understand it. Yeah. He's saying that Kanye West was canceled for supporting him and not for his anti-Semitic statements, and that people would actually not talk about his anti-Semitic statements if it weren't for his support for Donald Trump. Except, no, that's definitely not true. People have almost exclusively been talking about his statements on Jewish people, and almost no one at this point is talking about his statements on Trump because, like, we know that already. Yeah, it's fine. That's like the least offensive thing. When you start going down the anti-Semitism pipeline, okay, it's done. Like the Trump support, it comes with the territory. We get it, okay? But it's like the least offensive thing that you've said at that point.
The Pelosi attack is ramping up fears of political violence here in the United States in an already divisive climate right here in the nation's capital, Washington. There's a clear partisan split on whether Republican condemnation of Speaker Pelosi spurred her husband's attacker to act. CNN's Melanie Zanona is joining us from Capitol Hill right now.
I love this, dude. Conservatives are dealing with this in the most normal way they can, honestly. They're definitely in the fun pocket now. You know, we're in the fun zone where, you know, a pretty like open and shut case about a dude who's like, I am a Republican, MAGA conservative, QAnon guy, and I want to kill Nancy Pelosi, gets caught, openly admits to what he was trying to do, and we're just like, lol, just kidding. That's not what he actually meant or did. He's gay.
Right now, Melanie, a lot of Republicans have publicly condemned the violence, but some are actually making jokes about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Wolf. I mean, instead of this moment of unity, what we have seen is Republicans actually mocking Paul Pelosi and the attack. In fact, Donald Trump Jr. tweeted out some really crude memes making fun of Paul Pelosi and the incident that happened. And then you have Carrie Lake, who is the Republican candidate for Arizona governor, who had this to say at a campaign event earlier today.
It is not impossible to protect our kids at school. They act like it is. Nancy Pelosi, well, she's got protection when she's in D.C. Apparently her house doesn't have a lot of protection. But
that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Oh, that's wild. Good one. Got him. Carrie's fucking popping off. How fucked are we when being a Trumper isn't a deal breaker? It was a few months ago. Well, politics moves on, you know. Trump doesn't really have a lot of statements out there because he's not on Twitter and he's not in a position of power anymore. So defending him or saying you're a fucking fan of Donald Trump right now is not as significant as like saying it when he's the president and he's literally like using the bully pulpit to say shit like Mexicans are rapists or doing brutal shit like family child separation policies as a deterrent measure against immigrants. You know, that's like supporting him when he's actually doing shit versus supporting him while he's, you know, kind of irrelevant or has fallen off is a little different.
they act like it is. Nancy Pelosi, well, she's got protection when she's in D.C. Apparently her house doesn't have a lot of protection. But
now, I would say most Republicans have condemned the attack, but a lot of them have been reluctant to acknowledge that some of the GOP's own rhetoric or their efforts to demonize Nancy Pelosi or their party's embrace of fringe conspiracy theories have contributed to the dangerous, toxic political environment, or they have tried to blame both sides equally. And then Ronna McDaniel, the chair of the RNC, told Fox News that it's actually unfair to even suggest that political rhetoric contributed to the attack in any way. Take a listen.
I think that's unfair. I think this is a deranged individual. You can't say people saying, let's fire Pelosi or let's take back the House is saying go do violence. It's just unfair.
Meanwhile, GOP leader.
I think let's fire Pelosi and let's take back the House is not what is like, that is unfair, but that's not what they say. It's just like so fucking stupid to just act like, oh man, people are only upset. Liberals are claiming that we were just saying we should just fire Nancy Pelosi and then someone did that. Like, why are we acting like the dude exclusively believed that Nancy Pelosi was doing a bad job and that's why he wanted to kill her? Like, he literally was saying Jews are controlling the government and Nancy Pelosi and everyone else in the Democratic Party are pedophiles, and Donald Trump is fighting against those pedophiles because he's a QAnon, he is Q himself. Those conspiracies were literally supported by sitting representatives, okay? I don't know why we're acting like, politicians are just simply only saying we should just stop Nancy Pelosi, and then people are acting out this way. It's just a straw man, and it's bullshit.
Leader Kevin McCarthy was initially publicly silent about the attack, but he did come out on Saturday. He condemned the attack and all forms of political violence, but he did try to portray the attack as a broad.
One of the other things that really bugs me, okay, is that a lot of Republicans are always calling for violence, but they're calling for state violence, or rather justifying state violence and calling for more state violence, okay? But because it's state violence, people don't have the fucking same attitude towards it. They think, well, that state violence is normalized because the state has the monopoly on violence, right? People cannot comprehend that when you say we need to over-police black communities because they're violent and because they need to be over-policed, that is a call for violence against black people, okay? Or when you look at an act of violence, when a cop at a routine traffic stop murders an unarmed black person and you say, that's actually good. That's good that happened because that person deserved it. Let's look at his fucking criminal record. That is yet another justification for violence. That is just another way to reinforce your worldview. Okay, your inherently violent worldview. It is deeply disturbing that people don't comprehend this. It's not disturbing. It's actually pretty obvious that why people don't, people can't comprehend it. But our rhetoric and our existence is a violent one, okay? Violence is a constant. There are different forms of it. And people cannot comprehend ones that do not revolve around individual acts. People don't think of what the American military is doing as violence because it's a state. It's the state actions. They don't think about it like it's violent. That's why, this is an old anarchist saying, but it's never violent when the police tear gas protesters. Violence breaks out when the protesters kick that tear gas canister back. And we saw examples of this, right? We saw examples during the Black Lives Matter protests. Police would come in with tear gas. Police would come in with fucking less than lethal weapons, and they would start fucking pummeling the crowd. That is inherently a violent act, but it's a state violent act. It's a violent act by the usual suspect that everybody has basically collectively decided is appropriate. But the moment that you use a leaf blower to blow the smoke back in the direction of the cops, you are being charged with a brutal, attempted murder on a police officer. That's real. That happened in Portland. That's crazy. So you're admitting, once again, that what the cops are doing in that circumstance is violent and deadly. Okay?
Broader crime issue. However, there is at least one Republican who disagrees with him, and that is Fred Upton. He is one of 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump. He himself had been the subject of threats. He told me that he does believe his party bears some responsibility, that some of these Pelosi attack ads have gone too far, and that the Donald Trump tweets were disgusting. But, Wolf, I can tell you, it seems that as of right now, he is the minority voice in his party.
Melanie Zadona, thanks very much. Melanie reporting from Capitol Hill. Let's bring in our legal, law enforcement, and political experts right now. Shan Wu, you're our legal expert. As we learn more about the seriousness of Paul Pelosi's injuries and the circumstances of the attack, do you expect additional charges may be added?
Well, the charges they've already hit him with are quite serious and would result in significant jail time likely. On top of that, I'm expecting there'll be state charges filed too. There is the possibility of additional charges depending on what else they find, and at the sentencing stage, when they get there, they could actually seek an enhancement for a domestic terrorism charge here. But these charges are already very significant. They seem right on target, and DOJ has seemed...
By the way, this is the reason why they're saying that it was directed outside, because it's plexiglass. This is why they were saying, like, oh, it's broken outside. It's no different than fucking looking at... Holy shit. It's no different than fucking looking at the situation at hand. Like, it's no different than looking at like how the Earth feels flat and being like, nah, the Earth is flat actually. Just the same ass energy, dude.
A little reluctant to use that enhancement, at least when it comes to the January 6th rioters. They preferred to go with the more straight-ahead assault.
The notion that like glass can fall both ways is lost upon these people. Love that.
Destruction of property, and they seem to be doing that here. But again, these are very serious federal charges.
John Miller, what do you make of just how forthcoming the suspect was in his interview with police? He was read his Miranda rights, but he spoke extensively to the police. What stands out to you based on this?
I think the reason why he was so fucking open about his situation is because, like, it's the same energy as the brain broken idiots that did January 6th, right? Their idea is in their minds. They're doing the justifiable thing. They're doing the righteous thing. He feels like his hammer. Or not his hammer. He feels like his cause is just. You know, he feels like this is righteous indignation.
Affidavit that has now been released.
So many things, Wolf. It's a very rich affidavit in terms of the amount of information that they put in about their evidence. But let's go back to our suspect for a minute to get to the core of your question. Here's a guy who was involved in a high-risk activity. He's going to do a home invasion by himself with a hammer at the home of arguably the second most powerful person in the United States government in the line of succession for the presidency. So there is an extraordinary risk that any rational thinker would calculate that he's going to get caught. And yet, when his victim calls the police and he knows it was 911 and he knows the police are coming, he does not flee. He compares himself in a bizarre statement to being like our forefathers who fought the British. Surrender was not an option.
That's not a bizarre statement if you're like familiar with the rhetoric that goes on in these Groyper communities, you know? It's not all that bizarre. This guy thinks he has a justifiable and morally righteous cause. He's brain broken into believing that, and a television man tells him that. He's acting out on, if anything, he's acting out on the desires that everyone else has presented all around in his circles. And most likely did not think that people will call him a gay loser immediately after he acted out on those desires.
So you have a guy who took the risk of getting caught, then knew he was going to get caught, and then got caught, and then gave his statements to police. So he's living out loud during this episode, and I think he wants to be known.
He's living La Vida Loca, baby. You know what I'm saying?
He wants his voice to be heard, and you know, the day before this event, he was a nobody from nowhere who was isolated and relatively estranged from his friends and family.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We've been watching this story all weekend.
I do have a no Tucker Carlson rule, and I think I'm going to live by that today.
So, the big story over the weekend continued to be.
I can't do it. We watched Tucker Carlson, like we watched a piece of Tucker Carlson's broadcast where he was just simply asking questions yesterday. I covered it yesterday. I don't want to do it again. I can't watch him, dude. I can't. it triggers the fuck out of me, dude. He breaks my brain. Ben Shapiro, at least like I can sit here and retaliate. Ben Shapiro looking like a San Francisco West Hollywood guy with the suit. Yes, Queen. Ben Shapiro is infinitely more tolerable, dude. He is infinitely more tolerable. I can't, like, I mean, he's annoying. He's an annoying little dweeb too, but Tucker Carlson, on the other hand, is just
to be the fallout from what appeared to be a criminal hammer attack on the husband of Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi. Time magazine had a rundown of exactly what.
That's why it's so important to discuss. I mean, dude, here let's watch then.
Good evening at White's neighborhood of San Francisco. Inside the home, they found Pelosi's 82-year-old husband, Paul, and another man, 40 years younger, called David DePappy. Nancy Pelosi was out of town at the time. In full view of the police, DePappy hit Paul Pelosi in the head 2 times with a hammer. Both Pelosi and DePappy were then taken immediately to a local hospital. Pelosi for his head injuries and DePappy for reasons that are still not clear. DePappy was later charged in federal court with assault and attempted kidnapping. At this point, that's what we can say for certain. David DePappy assaulted Paul Pelosi with a hammer. Apparently, DePappy has admitted that in police.
Okay, so he recognizes that that's real, even though that's part of the real police narrative. So what about all the other shit within the police statement and DePappy's own testimony?
Custody. But beyond those facts, there is much in this story that remains muddy. How, for example, did DePappy get inside the Pelosi's home? That's the first question.
Okay. There's an answer for that. I mean, that much is available. He broke in with a hammer. Thank you. Next question.
Last year, ABC News reported what you already guessed, which is that Pelosi has round-the-clock protection at her houses. Quote, she has her own security.
Yes, Nancy Pelosi is and the Pelosi family is supposed to be protected by Capitol Police. Capitol Police wasn't there because Nancy Pelosi wasn't there. Next question.
She has the Capitol Police. They fly all the way out here from Washington, D.C. with her. And yet, in this case, San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins says that there was no security present at the Pelosi home on Friday night. And that's pretty strange because, according to multiple accounts, even when Pelosi isn't at home, her houses are well guarded. Again, as you would expect. Our friend Harmeet Dillon told us that when her firm recently tried to serve a lawsuit against Paul Pelosi at various properties he owns, all of them were guarded by, quote, multiple law enforcement officers on the perimeter. So how did DePappy get past security that apparently wasn't there? And why wasn't it there, if in fact it wasn't?
I mean, if you understand that DePappy is like a fucking brain-broken, insane idiot who believes in QAnon and shit, then you should also recognize that he wasn't probably thinking clearly and didn't do a lot of pre-planning. Like, he wasn't a fucking assassin. He was just a fucking psychotic weirdo, brain-broken by Tucker Carlson and numerous other commentators on the internet.
We know he got inside, and once he was inside, what exactly happened next? Well, accounts of that are changing.
That's not true. They're not changing. There was like one fucking instance where someone said oh my God. The accounts never changed on anything. Tucker Carlson has changed the accounts. It's bullshit. One, you are in the news. You know that breaking stories, no matter how open and shut they are often going to have some fucking wrong information, okay? That's why we always wait for police testimony. That's why we always even wait for additional news coverage from witnesses, victim testimony, and even the police interrogation, because cops also fucking lie too. There's always developing and new information that comes out that changes the official narrative, especially if the official narrative is just completely made up by people like Tucker Carlson.
At the first press conference on Friday, San Francisco police suggested there was a third person in the home when police...
That's not true. One journalist misunderstood. One journalist misunderstood and very quickly rectified it, okay? One journalist misunderstood and immediately fucking came out and said, oh, I was wrong about that. Like 30 minutes later.
Arrived, and Politico dutifully reported that. Quote, officers arrived at the house, knocked on the front door, and were led inside by an unknown person. In other words, by a person who was not David DePappy or Paul.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. The police do not know who David DePappy or Paul Pelosi is.
Pelosi.
That's it.
Now, Politico never formally corrected this claim. Instead, just 2 days later, Politico, the same publication, attacked anyone who repeated its own reporting as a crazed conspiracy monger. Quote, pro-Trump commentators weighed in online to raise questions about the investigation based on unfounded and false claims. Among those baseless claims, that a third person answered the door.
Yes, because you looked at an open and shut case and derived you looked at something in the least charitable way possible without ever addressing information that we knew as a matter of fact. If you looked at the entire story, and as plenty of people did, they saw a guy who was a crazy QAnon conspiracist break into fucking Paul Pelosi's house, and then Paul Pelosi call 911 and speak in code, okay, saying, I'm here with a person named David, I don't know him, or whatever the 911 call was. You heard about the dispatcher understand that there was a situation that was troubling there, immediately sent cops over. You saw that one of the two people, I don't know who actually opened the fucking door, but one of the two people answered the door, let the cops in, and then cops watch fucking David DePappy and Paul Pelosi struggle over a hammer as David DePappy, the peepee, hit Paul Pelosi in the head with a fucking hammer.
The same publication attacked anyone who repeated its own reporting as a crazed conspiracy monger. Quote, pro-Trump...
You are the reason. You read that. You were motivated to think that there was some other shit going on. That's why they're saying it's a conspiracy.
Idea. But the question remains, was there a third person at the home? We don't know, but it's not crazy.
We do know. We do know. We know that there wasn't a third person at the home.
To assume there was. Here's how today's charging documents describe the scene inside the house. Quote, when the door was opened, Pelosi and DePappy were both holding a hammer with one hand, and DePappy had his other hand holding onto Pelosi's forearm. Pelosi greeted the officers. The officers asked them what was going on. DePappy responded, everything was good. So it's an awful scene in some ways, but here's the critical clause. When the door was opened, well, opened by whom? Common sense suggests it probably couldn't have been Pelosi or DePappy who opened it.
Bro, you're adding this shit in here. Dude, this is the most, once again, I got to repeat, this is the most popular news broadcast in the country. This is the most popular news broadcast in the country. This is the most popular news broadcast in the fucking country. He is literally actively working to create more David DePeepees. That's crazy.
They were locked in a life or death drama, a struggle over a hammer. The documents filed today assert that Paul Pelosi had never seen David DePappy before. Yet in Pelosi's 911 call, he knew DePappy's first name and apparently referred to him as a friend. Here's the audio. This is from a dispatcher relaying Paul Pelosi's call.
RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he is a friend.
Yeah, he did that because he was worried that the other motherfucker might be listening to him in the fucking bathroom so he doesn't get murdered, dog. This is an 84-year-old man who is fearful that he might be fucking murdered. Tucker Carlson's going to be like, when I go out on dates, sometimes the bartender comes over and tells me that I can no longer be on the date with the girl that I took out on a date. A code word is used, they say, to the bartender to ensure that my lady friend of the evening is no longer supposed to be around me. What's going on? It's like, yeah, people in fucking harmful situations. Yeah. She simply asked for an angel shot, but the bartender came over and decided that the date was no longer happening. What's going on? Yeah, people in fucking weird situations will often use code to ensure their own personal safety, at least until the fucking cop gets there. I'm Tucker Carlson, and I could not conclude my date rape for the evening.
So what does that mean exactly? Well, again, we don't know and we can't know. We do know that anyone who's ever met Paul Pelosi can tell you he is an awfully nice man. He's warm and he's friendly, and he certainly didn't deserve to be hit in the head with a hammer. It's horrifying that he was. But as long as this is a news story with public policy implications, and unfortunately that's what it's become, it is fair to ask the obvious question.
The name and being a friend was part of the dispatcher hearing DPP saying that in the background. DPP actually knew Pelosi was talking to 911. Read the report. Wait. Do you have the actual report? We looked at it yesterday. I don't remember that. Also, it doesn't even matter. Like 911 dispatchers get shit wrong all the time. So the chatter who suggested to watch this even when the no Tucker rule was placed, I hope you get a paper cut. There is no conspiracy here when the motherfucker literally openly mentioned what he was doing, what his interest was. Please, okay? There will be inconsistencies in a fucking situation like this, okay? Of course there's going to be inconsistencies because everyone is trying to understand what's fucking going on in that circumstance. But you are getting duped into believing shit from a person who knows what's going on and is routinely and regularly trying to fucking spread misinformation by asking the question, what's going on? He's not actually curious about what's going on. Jesus Christ. Special agent with the FBI since 2019. Probable cause. On October 28th, 2 a.m., San Francisco dispatch received a 911 call from Paul Pelosi, located at the Pelosi residence. Pelosi stated the words to the effect of, there is a male in the home, and the male is going to wait for Pelosi's wife. Pelosi further conveyed that he does not know who the male is. The male said his name is David. Okay, so the dispatcher is relaying information, but he actually, Paul Pelosi openly states, I don't know who the fucking male is. The PP from behind hears him on the phone and says, his name is David, I guess? Or Paul Pelosi says the male said his name was David? At 2:31 a.m., SFPD officer Colby Williams responded to the Pelosi residence, California, and knocked on the front door. When the door was open, Pelosi and DPP were holding a hammer with one hand. Okay? DPP had his other hand holding on to Pelosi's forearm. Pelosi greeted the officers. The officers asked him what was going on. DPP responded that everything was good. Officers then asked Pelosi and DPP to drop the hammer. So it was DPP that said everything was good. There you go. DPP was the one who responded and said everything was good. DPP pulled the hammer from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer, striking Pelosi in the head. Officers immediately went inside and were able to restrain DPP. While officers were restraining DPP, Pelosi appeared to be unconscious on the ground. Officers removed a cell phone, cash, clipper, cards, and an identified card from DPP's right short pockets. DPP provided officers with first and last name. After officers asked if he had an ID, he said he might be in his backpack on the back porch, and later said his backpack was near the broken glass. When officers removed DPP from Pelosi's residence, police body-worn camera footage showed a glass door that appeared to be laminated glass broken near the door handle. Okay? In addition, law enforcement searched DPP's backpack at the Pelosi residence, and they found, among other things, a roll tape, white rope, one hammer, one pair of rubber and cloth gloves, and a journal. This motherfucker journaled his thoughts, too. He couldn't shut the fuck up about his actions and his desires and his ideology. SFPD officer Colby Williams was able to interview a suspect who saw an individual in all black carrying a large backpack, a black bag on his back, walking near the Pelosi residence where Witness 1 was parked. Witness 1 was working private security at an address nearby. Witness 1 then heard what sounded like banging on either a door or car and then heard the sirens within a minute or two. Pelosi was interviewed by the SFPD officer Ariane Starks in the ambulance during the transport to San Francisco General Hospital. Pelosi stated he had never seen DePipe before. Pelosi was asleep when DePipe came into Pelosi's bedroom and stated he wanted to talk to Nancy. Bro, it's literally open and shut. I didn't need to read all this to understand that this was open and shut, but here we are reading it, and it's open and shut. What the fuck? Like, it shouldn't be this easy to undermine the narrative that Tucker Carlson is trying to put together here. Like, if he worked a little bit harder to lie, if he at least had the audacity, at least had the decency, sorry, not the audacity. If he at least had the decency to fucking lie a little bit better, it would be harder to fucking diminish the agitated propaganda that he's cutting.
Questions as you would about any other violent crime that occurs in America, and especially this one, since so many facts, basic facts, seem to be in dispute.
No, they're not. They are not. You ignored the security point completely. Then they let him hit him with a hammer. Yeah, that part was insane. I've talked about this already. Cops come in and they literally watch the PP hit Paul Pelosi in the head with a fucking hammer. It's crazy. Cops are there immediately. They come inside, and then they let Paul Pelosi get hit in the fucking head with a hammer. Classic cop moment, by the way. Well, they walked in. They were like, well, I don't see a black person here, so just doing our job. Move it along, sirs. Oh, wait. He's using the hammer to hit him in the head now. Well, I guess we should do something about it. The point regarding the normal scheduling, what are you saying? What the fuck are you saying? He was saying why security is lax when it's been noted that he has always had security. Ignoring the security point is disappointing. I don't see how the security point went over his head. It's obnoxious when he blatantly ignored this asshole's only good point. The security took the night off. Dude, you know what's disappointing? The fact that you are so psychotic that you still think that there is a conspiracy theory here. Okay? Like that you think that Nancy Pelosi being away is the reason why Paul Pelosi thought there was no need for security. Okay? I'm losing my fucking mind. It is so obvious what happened here. And you still want to believe that there's a fucking conspiracy, dog. What do you think happened? Do you think Paul Pelosi or Nancy Pelosi set Paul Pelosi up? Do you think that there is a paper trail that will be uncovered? That DePipe was actually there secretly? Do you think Paul Pelosi sent the security away that night? And that's somehow not going to come out, by the way. Do you think Paul Pelosi sent the security away that night so he could have some hot gay sex with a 42-year-old fucking loser? And then they had a lover's quarrel? Is that what you think? This is why I can't fucking watch Tucker Carlson, because there are mentally ill 8-month subscribers who go, nah, dude, I'm going to fucking connect the dots here. Okay? This guy, this right-wing lunatic is literally fucking saying some good shit. No, but you have to go against this bullshit properly? What? No, of course. Of course I can ignore that shit. When there is like 900 points of evidence that prove that something is one way. The one part that you're so desperately trying to fucking cling on to is not adequate. It's not enough. It's not enough to fucking turn around and say, no, actually, this is very suspicious. No, you're just fucking mentally ill. It's not suspicious. The only reason why it's suspicious to you is because you're fucking brain broken. Fuck! I already covered that part. The reason why there was no security was because Nancy Pelosi wasn't there. Don't act like I need to work extra fucking hard to undermine every single fucking point that Tucker Carlson has made here when the evidence is pretty open and shut. You can't ignore that shit. No, but you have to go against this bullshit properly. Good call. Dude, read the rest. I know. Jesus, kid. Shut the fuck up, dumbass. You didn't hear me fucking properly address it. He had a separate point at which you didn't notice at the time. No, I did. I didn't openly just go, hey, the reason why he doesn't have security is because of this reason. What the fuck is Tucker Carlson saying? Because I had already addressed it. Because the reason why I didn't have security is because Nancy Pelosi is protected by Capitol Police. But Nancy Pelosi wasn't at the fucking house. He was in fucking D.C. She was in D.C. at the time. I already mentioned it. Just because you're too stupid to recognize that that point has been addressed already doesn't mean I have to sit there and fucking spoon feed this to you. Holy shit! Stop! He's acting like the correct way to deal with a Gish Gallop is to spend 5 hours addressing every point. This is why I fucking despise Tucker Carlson especially, okay? Because he's very good at cutting propaganda. He's very good at cutting propaganda. So there are literally brain-broken idiots in my chat even that will go, wait a minute, he's asking some good questions. Because they can't think for themselves. There are no questions in this circumstance. The only questions that remain are questions that Tucker Carlson is presenting. And if you're too stupid and you're too motivated to just think that everything is a fucking secret conspiracy, a secret plot, I don't know what to tell you then, you know? Holy shit.
Local KTVU investigative reporter Evan Cernovsky, for example, initially reported that DePappy was, quote, found in underwear when police arrived. Today, Cernovsky made a specific point of retracting that claim.
Yeah, there you go. Evan Cernovsky, who said that, was like, oh, I'm wrong. That was just false information.
Quote, I'm now told by other sources that DePappy was not dressed only in his underwear. Well, okay, fair enough.
Dog, even if he was in his underwear, it's 2 a.m. Okay? Like, even if Paul Pelosi was naked, it's fucking 2 a.m. in his own house. This is a home invasion. What the fuck does that even have to do with the situation at hand? I'm losing my fucking mind, dude. Or even if it was DePappy. Oh, sorry. DePappy was not dressed in his underwear. Sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry. DePappy was not in his underwear. Or DePappy was in his underwear, let's say. Okay, then he's a fucking rapist. Open and shut case. Okay? There you go. Which it doesn't seem like it was anyway. But even if it was real, which it is not, they've clarified time and time again that that's not the case now. Okay? Even if it was, though, it would still not indicate anything. It would just mean that he's a fucking freak. Maybe he wanted to rape Paul Pelosi or Nancy Pelosi. Jesus Christ. This gay sex theory is starting to ring true, but you can try and deny it as cope. Stop. Stop. Please. I know you're fucking memeing, but there are literal people that are just stupid like that, okay? Please don't bait right now. Oh my God. Why was he alone that night? He's a rather high-profile individual. Shouldn't he have 24/7 security? I don't think you motherfuckers understand. Like, a lot of people don't think that people are going to fucking walk into their houses and kill them. You get that, right? Like, please. Most of these people in their own homes are not like, oh, I need a fucking security all the time. Everybody thinks like every high-profile person has security non-fucking stop.
Only in his underwear. Well, okay, fair enough. We'd be satisfied with either explanation, not really our business. But you can't blame, and this is the point, you can't blame people watching all of this at home for thinking that maybe there's something weird going on here. Parts of the official account don't seem to make any sense. So the solution, obviously, is to release the police body cam footage from last Friday. That's often done immediately in cases like this, cases that attract heavy public scrutiny. Transparency restores the public's faith in.
Republicans be like, nah, this is impossible. Assaulting your lover is a normal guy thing. And then there was another person. I don't think Fox could ever accept it. Yeah, they're not going to. If you don't, I don't know if y'all should bait constantly when they're clearly very susceptible people in the chest. It's annoying. I know. Like 15-month community subscribers should know better than the fucking bait in a situation like this when there are unironically brain-broken 8-month subscribers who are literally trying to fucking follow breadcrumbs in the goddamn chat. Like, this is one of those instances where it's so fucking obvious what is happening. Like, what happened is so fucking obvious, and people are still, like, super desperate to find, like, an alternative example, partially because we're all so brain broken and we love conspiracy theories, and partially because a lot of people are motivated to cast doubt on the subject because they would rather do that instead of take blame for the brain brokenness of a lot of QAnon MAGA Republicans. But I get why Tucker Carlson's doing that. But if you're a fucking chatter, like, be a little bit more serious. You know what I mean? Think about it a little bit further. I get why he's doing it. Why the fuck are you doing it? You're not even a conservative. To be honest, this is one of the more funner conspiracies to engage with. I mean, it's funny if you're just going to think about it like it's funny, how stupid it is. But it no longer is funny when it indicates like serious brain issues, okay? I love memeing. I love joking about this. I love saying Paul Pelosi's gay and DePP is his gay lover. Those things are funny when you talk about it like that. But only as far as like everyone is clear that like we're obviously joking. The unfortunate reality is when I'm talking about like the most popular news broadcaster in the fucking country making this seem like it's a very legitimate possibility when all evidence points to the exact opposite, then all of a sudden it becomes not so funny because that level of denying reality is how you create more the peepees to begin with. Do you get it? That's how we got to the peepees to begin with because people kept saying, like, at the top of the hour, there's no 6-second ad break. At the top of the hour, you can avoid those ads with any method whatsoever, you know? There's no methods to avoid those ads. Well, there is. It's called a subscription, okay? For $5 or for free, you can avoid the top of the hour ad break. Fuck. I mean, this motherfucker was drunk driving at the age of 84, okay? Like, clearly, he doesn't have round-the-clock security. It doesn't take a fucking brilliant person to understand that. Anyway, here's the 1-minute ad break now.
In the system, it is the only thing that does. In fact, that's the whole point of body cams, to reassure people that they can really know what happened. Transparency is the antidote to, quote, misinformation. On the other hand, if you want people to fall headfirst into crazed conspiracy theories, then you would keep lying and hiding things. And yet,
but they're not doing that. They literally released so much information unceremoniously, I would say. They released so much information immediately. They released information from the testimony of the fucking assailant. They immediately released the FBI investigation being conducted. Like, the only thing they haven't released is the body camera footage, which always takes some time because they have to fucking make sure that you're not, like, doxing someone, especially in a private residence.
For some reason, the San Francisco Police Department is...
The problem, though, is that, like, the more information you release, the more they're going to say, well, it's kind of suspicious that they released so much information. Do they have no concern for the safety and security? Oftentimes, body camera footage is never released. In unique cases like this, body camera is released immediately. Well, that alone raises further alarm because their goal is not to arrive at the truth. They've already made up their fucking minds. They made up their minds already. Even if the body camera literally showed Paul DePipe be like, I'm here to kill Nancy Pelosi, they would be like, well, obviously they're role-playing a sexual act. The largest deviancy at all. Paul Pelosi fantasizing about Nancy Pelosi being murdered with a hammer. As you can see from the body camera footage alone, Paul Pelosi is rock hard. You know, it just doesn't matter. They're going to move on. Or more likely, obviously they're not going to say like Paul Pelosi's rock hard or whatever. They're just going to move on. They're never going to talk about it again because the damage is done already.
Refusing to release Friday's body cam video. We learned that today when we filed a records request. No chance, they said. So until we see that tape, there is a lot that we cannot know. But the main question tonight, the one that's going to affect your life going forward, because this story will affect your life, the question is, who exactly is David DePape?
Oh, he's going to talk about how he was like he was a cuck, living with a fucking nudist, and made hemp bracelets or whatever, and claimed that he's a hippie and not a right-winger. He's going to say DePipe was a leftist, and that he's going to say that he's a fucking male prostitute. That's it. That's it. That's like, I can't watch this, dude. I'm going to fucking kiss myself. If I watch this, I'm going to kiss myself. Okay? I know already. But it makes me so mad. He's going to say he's a mentally ill gay guy. Okay? And then he's going to turn it into, and this is how they're using this as any other opportunity they could to fucking, to cast doubt on the right wing. Okay? It's just a waste of fucking time. I can't do it. I don't even want to watch fucking Ben Shapiro's breakdown anymore.